6 feet between your party and others. Thank you, and enjoy your day here at SeaWorld.
Okay, next up.
One eternity later.
Come on in, come on in. Alright guys, so this is our medical pool, which is basically what it sounds like. This is kind of like our shark doctor's office. It's not always for medical reasons, but most of the time it is. Sometimes we have animals that are just new. We're letting them kind of adjust and get settled and acclimated in here before we send them on their way into the big habitat. But frequently it is because maybe we're monitoring them for some kind of reason. Maybe they're getting a medicine, maybe they're getting an injection or a medicated food daily. It's just easier to get it to them when they're isolated. However, the biggest thing that happens in this pool, or we see the most action in this pool, is all the sharks do get annual physicals here. Just like us, you know, nobody loves going to the doctor, but it is very, very important in our overall husbandry for them. So what happens is we'll get an animal into the med pool, and then what we'll do is we'll utilize one of those stretchers you guys see up on the wall behind you. We'll get the animal inside of the stretcher, and then that makes it a lot easier and safer for us to get our hands on them so that we can get through a nice quick physical, usually lasts 10 or 15 minutes. And what we do is we use a lot of the tools that you see on the table back there. You guys see the tape measure, blood box. So we're taking all kinds of samples, big weights. There is that big blue piece of neoprene, yellow. We'll use that when we're handling our sawfish. Then those sawfish have the teeth all along the outside of their body. So in order to protect us, that's what that wrap does, is we use it on the sawfish. We'll do our quick physical, and then we'll send them on their way. So they only get 10 or 15 minutes a year of kind of discomfort, but it does a world of good for us to kind of be able to gauge where they are health-wise, make sure they're growing well, they're gaining weight, and meeting all the milestones that they should be. All right, we're going to head up and we're going to take a look at the main habitat. All right. Yeah. We're trying. We've been right on top of it. Alright guys, this is the main habitat. This is our largest aquarium that houses fish in the park. It's 125 feet long, 50 feet wide, and 15 feet deep, about 750,000 gallons. Houses all of our large shark species in the park. We've got our sand tigers, our sandbars, our nurse sharks. We got some white tips in here. We got the sawfish in here. We have a zebra shark in here. You guys can see this gal right here. She is our female sawfish. She's our largest fish in this tank and in the park. She's about 11.5 feet long and about 400 pounds. Big girl. The way we feed our sharks in the habitat is they're actually all conditioned to come to different spots in the tank and respond to different shapes as their cue for their feeding opportunity. So it's actually a very controlled event. They come through, we offer them food on the tongs. They take their food item, we can mark down who got what, how much of each item, and make sure they got their vitamins and things like that. So again, it allows us to really take good care of each individual animal, make sure everybody's getting what they need. We're gonna kind of slowly walk this way. If you guys have questions, let me know. I'm sure people are gonna have questions about this guy right here that has some injuries. So generally speaking, we do not have problems with the sharks going after the fish because our sharks are well fed and our fish are healthy. However, over time, I do think our fish start to not appreciate the ability of the sharks, and they get too close, and they give the sharks a very good opportunity. You'll see actually the fish will do a behavior in here. The sharks have very rough skin, like sandpaper. The fish will use the sharks like a back scratcher. They'll swim up and they'll rub on the sharks to kind of scratch their sides. But then that puts them eyeball to eyeball with the shark. And because the sharks don't generally chase them, I think they kind of stop appreciating how dangerous the shark can be to them. And then the shark gets irritated that the fish is rubbing on them and takes a swipe to say, hey, get out of my space. Alright guys, we're going to head down these stairs. Just watch your step. Everything's a little bit damp up here.
More about working with Clyde, Seymour, and the other animal stars, please welcome members of our SeaWorld Animal Training Team.
Hey everybody, good afternoon. Welcome to the Sea Lion and Otter Theater. My name's Michael. I'm one of the animal trainers here in the show. And if you're looking at your watch and you're thinking, gosh, it's not 2:30 yet. What's going on? We're actually doing something special for the next 2 weekends. We're doing trainer talks or presentations before the actual show starts. This is all part of our Inside Look programming, which we're doing this weekend and next to give visitors to SeaWorld a chance to see sort of what goes on behind the scenes and flip everything so you get a chance to see what's going on from the inside out. So what does that mean for what you're here for today and what you're going to see? Well, the show's going to start at 2:30, but in between now and the show, we're going to introduce you to a couple of our baby sea lions. Now, when I say babies, they're not infants. They're actually 1 and 2 years old. And these younger sea lions are not in the show just yet. But we're taking the opportunity to teach them some things that they'll need to learn once they actually are performing in the show presentation. So what does that mean for you? Well, you guys are in for a special treat because the sea lions that you'll be meeting in a couple of minutes, this is the first time that they've ever seen an audience like this in a show environment. So we don't exactly know what's going to happen or how they're going to react, but I can tell you that we've been practicing with these 2 little sea lions for about 3 weeks when the theater is empty. So we're going to need your help in training them to get them used to an audience. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain a little bit about how that works and how you're going to help us in a minute. All right, so let me explain what the sea lions are going to do. The 2 sea lions are going to be coming out of this door here on the left. They're going to run underneath this blue slide all the way across the stage to the right, and they're going to exit out this door. Now, in our animal training terms, we call this a scamper because the animals are scampering from left to right. This is one of the first things that young animals learn when they're beginning their training and they're actually getting used to being on the stage. We're going to do the scamper 2 times. The first time, we're not going to make any noise at all. You guys don't have to be super quiet, but we want you to watch and react to them. We'll see how the sea lions do going across. Then we'll catch our breath, we'll reset, and we'll have the sea lions do it a second time. And the second time, we're going to have you guys make some noise and sort of clap. You ready? Okay. So it looks like the sea lions are getting situated. I'm going to move out of the way because if I'm standing in the middle, I'll distract them. Okay, so if you're watching, you're going to want to keep your eye right underneath the slide. They're going to go from left to right all the way over to where the open door is. Now, these are itty-bitty sea lions. They're way smaller than the ones that you're going to see in the show. Their names are Thanos and Lannister. Here they come. Lannister is the smaller of the two sea lions. We name our baby sea lions each year after a theme. Marvel Superheroes was 2 years ago, and his name, the younger one is Lannister, so this past year was Game of Thrones. We haven't decided what this year's theme is going to be, but the interesting thing about Lannister is when he runs across the stage, he doesn't use his rear flippers, he just kind of slides. So if you want to know which one is which, Lannister's the one that's kind of dragging his backside. Now we're gonna do this again. We're gonna repeat it, and because the sea lions didn't particularly seem to notice you guys, we're gonna kind of take it up a notch. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna have you guys just sort of do here. Let's practice. Everybody just not a crazy cheer, but just everybody kind of do like a little clap action like this. A little bit louder. Okay, right there. Okay, you stop. That's about the level of noise that we need. And if you will, wait to start clapping until they get about right here. Now the reason this is important is it's part of their training, so eventually as they're doing the scamper in the show, they'll get used to an audience. Now I'm keeping my eye out over here. I don't see them quite ready just yet. But one of the things you need to know about this is practice makes perfect, and the repetition gets them comfortable with what's happening in the environment. And eventually these two guys... standing here. Okay, that was good. So over time and through successive approximations or baby steps, we'll do this over and over again until the animals have an opportunity to be successful. And it's through that positive reinforcement that we're able to get the animals to do all the incredible things that you'll see in the show. So we're going to go backstage and get ready for the show. It's going to start at 2:30. A couple words of warning. If you're seated in the soak zone, you will get wet in this show. If that doesn't sound like a good idea to you, you're going to maybe want to move up to drier seating. Also, while you're in the theater, just keep your face coverings on at all times, and remember, just keep the social distancing intact to keep everybody safe. Thanks for joining us for the Inside Look trainer presentation. If you guys want to get a look behind the scenes of what goes on in our sea lion area, if you go to the Pacific Point Preserve at the end of the show, there's backstage tours, and that's included with your admission today. So we hope to see you over there after the show to see what goes on behind the scenes with our breeding and propagation. Well, you guys take good care, enjoy the show. We hope you have a great day at SeaWorld. Bye, everybody.
Return of the Sea of Trees. Oh my God. And they're preparing for Winter Wonderland on ice. Returning. Very cool. An icebreaker. The opening next year. Before we continue with the inside look, SeaWorld has opened up something brand new. It's right over here next to Wild Arctic. It's between Wild Arctic and Mango Joe's, and it is the Glacier Bar, located right there.
Oh, thank you. Not wet.
Which also teach people freestyle, specialty drinks, and there's some food as well. So, very cool. Let's see if we can check this place out. Oh, and there's some
20 minutes later.
Hi everyone, my name is Leah. I'm one of the trainers here. I've been lucky enough to be caring for our killer whales for the past 6 years. I've been in the animal training field for 10 now. It really is a joy to be here every day. I know people say that they always want to work with animals, but I was one of those little girls who said they always wanted to work with animals, so this is an amazing job. We have 5 killer whales total here. You're seeing Katina, Nalani, and Malia, our 3 female killer whales, and then as you guys make your way onto your inside look journey, you'll meet our boy killer whales. Their names are Trua and Makayo. We have all different kinds of sessions and interactions with the whales throughout the day, and right now you're seeing a little playtime with the whales. Play is really important for the animals, just like how play is important for us. So Mimi and Kelly, they have some buckets of ice. Mimi has a water hose. We're just having fun with them. And you know, these guys, it's absolutely their choice if they want to interact and hang out with us or just swim around. And right now they're choosing to just hang out and chill and see if they can get some ice or some water. So yeah, they're having a good time. Are they waving hi to us? Ah, let's see if they'll wave hi. Oh, they're waving at you. That's so cute. So yeah, so play is really important. We also do husbandry or health care with them. These guys voluntarily participate in their own health care, which is really important to make sure they're staying nice and healthy. Exercise is a really important part of their day. Make sure they get enough cardio, get their heart rates up. Learning is really important too. Make sure their brains are stimulated, mental stimulation, just like us going to school or work every day, learning something new. And obviously building our relationships with them is also really awesome. Just spending one-on-one quality time with them. So that's kind of as trainers what we do every day. Hanging out with our whales, taking care of them. Hi guys! Oh my God! So that's Katina. Nalani was in the middle and Malia was on the right. You see they're getting some more ice.
They just did that because they followed all of us here, so they came over to show off?
No, we communicate with the whales with a variety of hand signals and body language. So there's a specific hand signal that asks them to do that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So if you watch the trainers closely, you'll see we're always communicating with them somehow, whether it's through our hand signals, our whistles communicate good job. Every behavior is associated with a different body movement or hand signal. Yep, yeah, good question. Really good question.
Who do you work with the most?
That's a really good question. So out of the 5 killer whales, I probably spend the most time with Makayo and Malia. Each animal has their own training team. And so, like for example, when you first start here, you're gonna be put on one animal's team. So you just get to know them, build a relationship with them, and then you kind of go from there and get added to more and more animals. So our really experienced trainers, they work all the animals here. Myself, I work 3. So I work Malia, Makayo, and Nalani. But I probably spend the most time with Makayo. He's my favorite.
He's also turning 10 soon.
Oh, he did turn 10. I know. I can't believe it.
Are they all born here, the ones you work with?
Yes.
Right
Yeah.
here in the park. Oh, right.
Yeah, right in that front pool. Yeah, 4 out of the 5 were born right here at SeaWorld.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have any expecting?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mikhail's our youngest at 10 years old. He'll always be the baby. Hi guys! So this is really fun for the animals because this is different for them to have all these people here. And so just like how you like watching them, they like watching you. So they're just seeing what you guys are doing. That's Malia. I know, are you having fun watching everyone? Yeah, you having fun watching everyone, Mama? Do you guys have any other questions before we move you to the next station? Awesome. Well, a lot of people ask us how much food do the guys get. They all average around 100 pounds. Some get a little more, some get a little less.
I've ever been to one.
It's a combination of capelin, herring, and salmon that they get. The majority is capelin and herring.
They also enjoy ice, like you saw. We also give them Jello too for enrichment or husbandry, because Jello is very high in water content. They also love their toys, so you'll get a chance to see a lot of our toys around the corner when you guys head to the last station. But yeah, these guys are awesome. I love taking care of them. They're like, what's next, guys? What's next? All right, I'm getting the signal that it's time for you guys to move on to the next section. So you guys are gonna head to your right. You're gonna hang out with Ashley. She's gonna tell you a little bit more how we take care of the animals and the healthcare behaviors they know. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Enjoy your day here. Hi guys, you're gonna come right down here to this seat. You good, Leah?
Hi guys, come on down. You guys learning a lot so far? Having fun? All right. Well, my name is Ashley. I've been a trainer here at Chapman Stadium for 8 years. I've been at SeaWorld for 15. I absolutely love this job. I love the whales. I love what we do. And at this station, you guys are going to be learning about this pool. Pretty cool, right? You guys might be looking at it like, okay, why am I learning about this pool? That's because this pool right here is the most important pool that we have in our entire facility. And the reason for that is because you see how the floor looks a little funky, right? That's because this floor actually lifts the animal. So it can lift a killer whale in about 30 seconds. And we use this pool for veterinary procedures. So if an animal was to ever get sick, maybe vets come down and help them get better. We can bring them into this pool, raise them out of the water, have our vets safely get around to them to take proper care of them. But before we do that, obviously we never want our whales to get sick, but before we ever even get to that point, what we do is we bring the whales in here and we throw a party. We want to make sure that this pool right here is the most reinforcing pool that we have in our entire facility. That way, if a whale were to ever get sick, they still want to come over here. They just associate this pool with all the goodness, right? So what we do is we can bring the whales in here. We can give them toys. We can give them fish, ice cubes. We can bring 2 whales at a time in here. So like Milani and Katina, it's a mom and daughter. They're attached to the hip. We can bring both of them in here so that they're comfortable. And we just bring a lot of positive reinforcement to this pool. We actually have 2 of them. We have this one right here, and we also have one all the way on the other side of the facility as well. Another very important behavior that we train with them is a blood draw. Have you guys seen the show yet? Yeah? So you learned a little bit about that in the show. But I'm going to tell you a little bit more details about it. So that behavior is very important because they have to trust us and we have to trust them, right? They weigh about 6,000 pounds. We're putting their tail flukes in our lap. So what we do is we roll them over, we have them put their tail flukes in our lap, and then we bridge them out of it. This whistle means great job. So we bridge them out of it, we tell them good job, and then we're going to reinforce them. The next step is to roll them over, put their tail flukes in our lap, hold it there for a little bit just so they get used to being patient with it, and then we reinforce them after that. The next step is to have somebody else come over. They can put their hands on the whale to see that extra sensation of somebody else touching them. And then once again, we'll reinforce that. And then the last step, before we ask the vets to come over, is we will actually put our fingernail into their tail fluke just a little bit, just to get that pinch sensation. That way when the needle goes in, it's not this big shock and they won't fluke out of it, right? So we want to make sure that that's heavily reinforced. That way when we feel they are ready and the vets come down and we get that voluntary blood sample, they don't fluke out of it once the needle goes in. So it's very, very important behavior. Another fun husbandry behavior that we train, and a lot of people don't know this, but we actually potty train our whales. So we can get the females to pee in a cup. So it's just a urine cup, and what we do is we ask the whales to slide up onto their side. We show them that cup, and then the whales know to urinate them. But it takes a long time to train them. So how do you ask a whale to pee, right? So it takes, from Malia, it took me 2.5 years to train that behavior. What we did is we really made sure that she was hydrated by giving her Jello. I don't know if you learned about it over there, but it has no sugar or flavor. But we made sure that it was very watery. That way she was really hydrated, and that encouraged her a little bit more. And eventually we got it, but it took 2.5 years to get that. Crazy, right? Do you guys have any questions? No?
What would you say outside of urination is the most difficult husbandry?
The most difficult one besides the urination? I would say probably, I mean, the floor's kind of hard too. Like, that's part of our husbandry. Just because when the floor turns on, it's pretty loud. So having them just, like, as soon as they hear it, not to freak out and swim away, you know, that takes a lot. It takes a lot sometimes. So, and even now, sometimes they if they're not ready for it, they're like, whoa, what's that? You know? And, so sometimes that can be challenging. But again, we just make sure it's so positive and so reinforcing. So we got to get there first before, you know. So I think that part is probably the hardest thing. Just stay have a seat with me. This is the weight of the whales that we're showing. Our largest male, he just went over 6,000 pounds. I think it's like 6,100 and something. Patina is our largest female. She's about 5,600 pounds. She's full grown, so that's as big as she's going to get. True as a male. He, right now he's about 6,000 pounds. He could potentially reach up to 12,000 pounds. So he's only half his size. His grandfather was about 12,000.
And he'll do that in here.
Come over here, yeah, yep. You know, he still fits really well in here. I mean, obviously we wouldn't just keep him in here, but just for the training purposes we do. Any other questions?
Are you actually one of the trainers?
Yep, I've been here 8 years.
Where were you the other 7?
What's that?
You said you were 15
Yeah, I
years
worked over at Discovery Cove for a little bit. I knew this was my dream job. I always wanted to be a trainer. So really hard, worked my way up in the company.
How has this pandemic affected your job?
Actually, we got more training done because we weren't doing the shows or anything like that. So one of our youngest whales, Kyle, he learned so much during the pandemic. Yeah, he's almost like a whole new whale. Yeah.
All right, my section group, you guys are going to make
Animal is penguins, so he hates the killer whales because they eat them. He's like, I don't like killer whales. I'm like, oh, you guys.
Penguins are my favorite, but I like the whales.
Okay, awesome.
They're black or white. They're black or white.
Right, yeah, exactly. Fly through the water. So this is Trua and Makayo. Makayo is our youngest killer whale. He just turned 10 years old a few weeks ago. And Trua, that's with him, is going to turn 15 in just a few weeks as well. So, so we have the oldest, not oldest, we have the largest and the smallest together. Trua is just over 6,000 pounds, and Makayo is our little puppy. So Trua is closest to us right now. He's resting with that pill on top of his head. We had a ton of Jello connected to that pill. So he picked up all the Jello and now is just hanging out with it. So he's having a lot of fun just hanging out with it. And then Makayo's favorite toy, which he's actually not playing with right now, is that red half moon that we have in the corner. I don't know why it's his favorite. He just likes carrying it around everywhere. Yeah, but Makayo loves toys probably more than any other whale. He's the youngest and he loves to play. So much where he might not give you back his toy, and that's okay. He can hang out with it as long as he wants, so it's a lot of fun. We have a ton of toys right over there. You can see Kelly getting out a few, probably to give to the girls. Patina is our matriarch. Her favorite toy is what Kelly has in her arms, that smaller blue ball. Don't know why it has to be blue, but she'll give that to the girls, and Patina will go and find that one toy, and that's her toy.
Can they see colors?
No, like I don't. They have some rods and cones, but it's not really sure if they can actually like very well. But definitely, she knows the difference. So, so when you first start here at Shamu, you get put on one of the whales, and then the longer you are here, the more whales you get put on. The coolest thing about it is actually getting to know the animals. They have their own individual personalities, for sure, and they're all very different. So we have the dominant whale, and Her name is Katina. She's our matriarch. So she's the most dominant here. Whatever she says goes. And then our least dominant would be Trua. Even though he is our largest, right? It's very interesting. But Makayo is her offspring, so she knows he is her son, so that makes Makayo, our youngest, even more dominant than our largest whale. So that is very different. And then Malia is the least dominant out of the females, which makes it interesting. So a lot of it's based on positive reinforcement and how you apply it and stuff. But here we have to work the social aspect just as much as we have to work the behavior, which is super cool. I love it. You have to feed the dominant animal fast. Like, it's just a whole bunch of amazing stuff that we've been able to figure out with these. Do you guys have any questions at all for me?
Is she raising the
Yes.
Oh.
So this is sort of enrichment for them. They love watching this floor rise. I don't know why. Got that last place right about the lift bottom floor. So that could hold all 5 killer whales, raise them all the way out of the water, no problem. At one time, if they want to. We don't really ever do that.
Yeah.
There's no need. But it can. So it's a really awesome pool that we have there. And the whales usually love to just watch it go up and down in the water column. We have to test it every day. And it's like the best part of their morning. They're just like, oh yeah, let's watch this thing go up and down every morning. It's a lot of fun. But like I said, they have their own individual personalities. Makayo is our youngster, so he is, let's see, he has the best attitude. He might not get a single behavior correct that you ask him, but he will always come up and be like, hey, did I do it? I was so excited to go do something else. Like, so he might not get a single thing right, but he's always so happy about it. And you're like, oh, good job. Like, thank you for being happy and hanging out with me. So that's a lot of fun. And Truett is our fan favorite because he will go down at the glass at underwater viewing and sit and watch people for hours. Hours. Like, and then he'll stick out his tongue if you're going to take a photo. He's like, I'm so cute. Look at me. So they really love that. But it looks like you guys are going to follow my friend Christy and head on out. It's so great meeting you guys. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
How long have you been here?